Sorry guys, actually the video length is has occurred very large, so we are concluding this points. The second clinical aspects which we have been discussing over here is the splenomegaly. As the name suggests, it is the enlargement of the spleen, and this enlargement of spleen can be occurred by the various diseases. Now, what all the diseases which you have to understand here is the cirrhosis of liver, the Kala Azar. The third one is the chronic myeloid leukemia. In these three particular disease condition, we can see there is the enlargement of spleen. The third point we have to remember over here is the splenectomy. As the name suggesting, it is the removal of spleen, and it can be seen in some blood diseases, and in some blood diseases also this splenomegaly occur, because we have seen that it is the graveyard of the RBC. So obviously बात है कि अगर कुछ हमारे पास ज़्यादा हमारे पास वेस्टेज अगर आरबीसी के कुछ है, तो हमने पास स्प्लीन का कुछ अपने को जो है कुछ पार्ट को हटाना पड़ सकता है, क्योंकि अगर उसका प्रॉपर फंक्शनिंग ना हो उस चक्कर में, तो so if the accessory spleens are located in the splenic pedicle, they should also be removed. मीन्स कि अगर कोई भी ऐसी ब्लड डिसीज, हमने जो एसेसरी स्प्लीन की बात करी थी यहाँ पर इस एसेसरी स्प्लीन की, तो उसी चीज़ को हमको याद रखना कि उसको हमको हटाना जरूरी है. एंड द रिमूवल ऑफ द स्प्लीन डज नॉट इम्पेयरिंग द इम्यून रिस्पॉन्स सीरियसली, बिकॉज हमारे पास ऑलरेडी बात है कि एक तरीके से सेकेंडरी लिम्फॉइड टिश्यू है अपना. वैसे भी ये जो अपने पास बोन मैरो थैमस है तो पहले ऑलरेडी बना चुके थे, तो इसके पास केवल वहाँ पर आके स्टोरेज होते हैं. तो एज सच हमको इम्यून रिस्पॉन्स में कोई ज़्यादा दिक्कत नहीं आएगी, तो उसके हिसाब से हम उसको कंसिडरेबल कर सकते हैं. नाउ क्विकली वी विल सम अप ओवर ऑल द टॉपिक विच वी हैव डिस्कस इन दिस सेशन. So first we will move on with that is the intro which we have given of the spleen. So this spleen is the largest lymphoid organ. The main point which I am telling over here, you have to actually remember that all things. It is the largest lymphoid organ. It is a one MCQ also, so you have to remember this. And the functions, if we see, it is graveyard of the RBCs, and in fetal life it helps in the manufacture of RBCs. In the intrauterine life it helps in for manufacture of the RBCs. Immunity, if you will see, that is having IgM antibody, that is through the plasma cells. Now location, we have to remember the hypochondrium part we have seen over here. This present behind the 9th, 10th, 11th in 11th ribs, and it is present over there. It is the diaphragm, and the stomach is also present there. And if we see, there is presence of the angle of 45 degrees to make with the base of the spleen, with the base through the T10 vertebra. This point you can remember, and the anterobasal and the posterobasal angle also you can remember. The three classifications: the wedge shaped, the tetrahedral, the triangular, which is 14%. Externally feature we have to see, remember this point, that is the two ends anterior-posterior, and the three borders, that is the superior, inferior, intermediate, and the diaphragmatic and visceral, that is the two surfaces. Moving on to that, we have the relations. The relations have been divided into peritoneal and the visceral relations. The peritoneal, we can remember the gastrosplenic ligament and the landoronal ligament is present. From the gastrosplenic ligament, we can remember there is presence of your short gastric artery. This is the point which you have to remember, and it is going through from the lesser curvature of the stomach. So this particular part is your stomach. You have to remember, it's the stomach. Now, the another is the landoronal ligament, which having tail of the pancreas, and you have the pancreato. Lymph node is also present over there, and you have splenic vessels. This is the splenic artery which is going over here. The lastly, the visceral surface, you have to remember the fundus of the stomach, the left colic flexure, the tail of the pancreas is present over there, and the anterior surface of left kidney. So anterior surface of left kidney, and the diaphragmatic surface is having the 9th, 10th, 11th costodiaphragmatic recess. It's actually separating this spleen from the costodiaphragmatic recesses. Now after that, we will going on to the arterial supply of the spleen. So this arterial supply of the spleen, if you will see over here, so this is actually having the celiac trunk, and that is the left gastric artery. This is splenic artery, which you have to remember. This is the largest branch of it, and it is giving through the hilum, giving 4 to 5 branches. So this is the main arterial supply, and we can see the different veins we are draining with the spleen. That is the short gastric vein, the left gastrocolic vein, the pancreatic vein, and the inferior mesenteric vein. Lymphatic drainage, nothing we have to remember, only that it is directly pouring the venous sinusoids. So that we have to remember over here. Not much. The nerve supply, only the one point, the ciliary plexus, having the sympathetic supply, having vasomotor supply, and it is also moving to the blood vessels and the smooth muscle also. This extra point you can remember, that what actually it actually contraction is there, or some vasoconstriction is occurring over there. So we can remember that the segments, the superior segment, the inferior segment by the splenic artery. So that you have to remember. Development by the dorsal mesogastrium through the mesenchymal cells fusing the forming the lobulated spleen. Lastly, we can see the accessory spleen as extra. We can see that the spleninculi are actually the lobulation which we are seeing, and this can be seen over the gastrosplenic ligament, linearular ligament, and greater omentum. Clinical aspect, if we see the palpation of spleen, normally it is not occurring in the splenomegaly conditions, or where there is enlargement. So this is the most important, that is the splenomegaly, that is enlargement of spleen, can be occurring in the diseases like the cirrhosis of liver, Kala Azar, and chronic myeloid leukemia. And the splenectomy is done for the removal of the spleen. It can be done in some clinical conditions, and can also have some blood diseases present over there. We also remove the accessory spleen also is been removed, and so with that, and there is no significant effect on immunity. So this you have to remember, that immune response is not so much hampered. And with this, you have come to the end of this session, and I know that there are some obstructions have occurred in this particular part of the videos, because it's for the first time I have tried like this. So please give your valuable suggestion. Please do write in the comment box below what you want more in these videos, and how can I can improve it. If you don't, if it's your up to you that if you want to subscribe or not, but please do like and share it as much as you can, because if anyone needs the particular topic, he or she can get the particular topic, and that is the main prime reason of making these videos. So please help me by carrying out this forward, and looking forward to you all with your responses on this behalf. Thanking you. Thank you.